For those of you who might not know me, I'm Rob Epps, and I'm the president of Junior Achievement of Delaware. And I have been in your shoes before. I was a JA company president at Newark High School back in the late 70s and early 80s. I went to a couple state competitions and won President of the Year and went off to national competitions, which look very different these days than they did back then. But in any case, I'm just so delighted to be able to be a part of this. I know this is very different than the live event, the Barracuda Bowl that we've enjoyed before, but I'm just so inspired by the kids and the teachers and the sponsors and the judges, and in particular, I just have to take my hat off to my colleague, Ryan Venderlich, who pretty much single-handedly saved this whole thing by pulling everybody together and making sure we had a virtual way to do this since we couldn't do the great live version of it. So my hat's off to you, Ryan, and to all of the competitors, all of the volunteers and judges and teachers who made all of these experiences possible. I'm just, my heart is full with gratitude and appreciation for all of you. So you did a great job, and best of luck to all the competitors.
Thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate that. And I know it comes from a really good place in your heart, as well as you were one of these students not too many years ago. So you were one of the right people to kind of share that message and, you know, hopefully provide some hope and inspiration for their future, because they have a lot more ahead of them than what we've gone through in the last 6-7 weeks. So, you know, I think, you know, with that said, there may be some other people who may join us, but I want to be mindful of time, and I would love to just kind of go right along into our presentation here. We have some wonderful people here on the call that I'll hopefully recognize and show some appreciation to. But I definitely, real quick, just want to share a couple slides, if I may, with you real fast. So welcome. And then part of the reason we're all here is this thing right here, right? And so I know all of our students, you guys are super excited and happy, hopefully with what you guys did in your competition this year. I was very proud of everything you did, and I'll get into more of those details here a little bit later. But I did want to go ahead and keep moving along. We have a special guest that luckily, you know, all of our volunteer judges are dedicated educators who spent many, many hours getting these kids ready. I really appreciate that. We had a lot of behind the scenes volunteers and supporters, that's our parents included, but all the administrators out there that allowed our educators to keep moving forward with this. All of the persistent, charitable, and successful student entrepreneurs who followed through and finished out a very crazy year, but yet you guys still wanted to compete, and I really appreciated that. And then for the amazing sponsors who enabled us to bring you this event. So, you know, last year we were lucky to have Marlette Funding and Newcastle County Innovates come in as our 2 presenting sponsors, and they came on for 3 years. So we were fortunate to have them back this year. And especially today, we were very lucky because one of the founding members of Marlette Funding has been able to join us. And I want to definitely give him a few moments to share what his experience has been like. And, you know, I do want to just kind of share a little bit about this guy. Back in 2014, he and some friends took advantage of an opportunity, and there wasn't there was an opening, if you will, in the lending space, and they successfully launched a company that to date has successfully lent out $10 billion to individuals like you and me to help take care of our finances. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it on over to my friend. And one of the main reasons why we have this event Jason Swift from Marlette Funding, the Chief Operation Officer.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate the time. I'm just going to take a couple minutes and, kind of briefly speak to you guys before Ryan continues on. One, again, same as Ryan and Rob have said, really congratulations to all the teams that participated in the event and have gotten through to the Barracuda Bowl itself. There are numerous companies around the world that are not making it through this pandemic and will not be around post-pandemic. And you guys so far have made it through as a company, so congratulations there. Special thanks, as Ryan said as well, to the numerous volunteers and people that have shepherded you guys through this entire process, to the folks at JA, especially Ryan and his leadership there, to the remainder of the folks at Marlette Funding, as well as Newcastle County that have helped support this. It's been a tremendous effort for everybody to be nimble and agile and continue to adjust to make sure that this happened. The thing that I'm going to mention is really related to the pandemic and you personally and you as companies. Some of the biggest learning opportunities that we have, and the things that will shape us as a person, and the things that will certainly shape us as a company and will determine, honestly, if the company survives or does not survive, are the things that you face that are unexpected in life. Nobody could have been fully prepared for this pandemic, period. As a company, as a nation, as a person. But you can be prepared to some degree. And the folks that really manage it appropriately and learn from it, but again, both personally as a company, are the ones that will survive personally and survive as a company. So, there are numerous things that I'm sure you guys have faced and things that we have faced, simple things like, how do you work as a team, start a company, develop a company, and be successful and compete in this competition when you can no longer be with each other? How do you do that and do that virtually? If you sell things at a school store or a specific location, how do you change your business model to be successful when there is no longer a store? How quickly can you change? How quickly can you adapt? And more importantly, how quickly can you anticipate, what's going to happen in the future? You're not going to always be right, but how can you anticipate what's going to happen in the future and make your company successful, based on that anticipation? So those are the things I know. A couple things that as well as many other things that you guys have faced in this overall process. There are so many things related to this pandemic, both personally and as companies, that we will look back and see as very negative. Some of you folks, all of you folks, in one way or another, have been impacted personally. Some of you have seen local stores, local restaurants, whatever the case may be, that will no longer be around because of this pandemic. But there are so many positive things that you will look back, and I hope you do look back and see what is positive, what positive things are coming out of this experience, both the experience that you've had with JA and the experience that you see in your community or that you see personally. These are rhetorical questions, but how many people appreciate their hairdresser a whole lot more today than they did historically? I see some hands raising. How many people appreciate local restaurants, your favorite food that you can no longer either go to or maybe even had the ability to have takeout with? Don't you think that those companies now appreciate their customers a whole lot more than they did before? If you do get a chance to visit those local restaurants, I bet you they acknowledge you, and I bet you they say thank you. And I'm not sure they always did before. How many people have a greater respect for others? How many people appreciate their friends, their classmates, their teachers way more than they did historically? So I could go on and on as far as the list goes, but think of all the positive things that will come out of the experience that you guys have faced. And while I hope you never have to face another experience like this, you will, to some degree, face very difficult times in your life. The most important thing you guys can do as people, and therefore as owners of businesses, is anticipate what those positive things are. What are those things that are going to shape the new world that we're going to live in, and apply those new positive things to yourself and to your business, And those are the businesses that are going to be the most successful. So I really encourage you guys to kind of look back and reflect on what are the positive things that you're seeing actually come out of this experience and use them with your businesses and with your life. So I'm going to leave you with that. Again, thank you for everything that you guys have done to be able to make it through this process. And I'm excited to see who the winners are. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Jason. That was amazing. I was taking some notes. And of course, I am recording this meeting, so I will be able to share it out with everyone. Those were some tremendous thoughts, though, so I really appreciate you taking the time to share that with everyone. So I do want to, at this time, just kind of move things along. Some of you may or may not know me that well. I know we have some educators and some administrators who possibly were able to join us today. So I wanted to take a quick moment to share a little bit about me, and it's all related back to these students here on this call. So I've been working with JA of Delaware now for 2,088 days, and I look forward to many more. Prior to that, I spent 767 days in Kenya as the JA Kenya program officer and as a United States Peace Corps officer. And that was a tremendous experience. In total, that equals 2,855 days that I've dedicated to JA. And if you count backward from today, that would basically equate to the 4th of July in 2012. Well, many of you, if you're a senior, were in 5th grade back on that date. And if a lot of you have remembered your 5th grade experience, most of you, I would imagine on this call, came to JA BizTown and experienced one of those programs. And I wanted to bring that up because it's kind of similar to something that many of you guys know me about, right? And that's this hot dog stand that is sitting here in front of you. A lot of you guys know I ran a hot dog stand while also being a Peace Corps member. And then I went back and tried to run that business on my own. And ultimately I struck out. But we were quite successful for the 3 years that it operated. And the most successful thing I was really, most proud about was having it operate without ever having to be there. There were 2 ladies who are seated inside who operated the stand daily, made sure that all of our employees got paid every month, and basically helped to operate this business. And we just empowered them to do so. And we ended up selling over 40,000 products. And I think it was the mixture of having a good team and trusting one another that allowed us to do that. But the reason I bring up that it wasn't successful is I think it ultimately helped prepare me for what I'm now doing today here in Delaware. And I think everything you guys will do in your life will in some way or degree kind of, support you or get you ready for that next step. So one thing I did want to share is a little bit about junior achievement quickly. We are a national and global organization. One of the globe's largest, in fact. We are the largest here in the US. And I wanted to point out that we have offices all over the country so that no matter where our seniors are going off to college, you will probably find a JA office in your area and you should connect up with them. But here locally, we're throughout the entire state of Delaware, Salem County, New Jersey, and Cecil County, Maryland. So we're always looking for new partners and we're always looking to expand what we're doing. Now that all kind of comes to bear with the JA Company program, and it's why we're all here today. It's what these students went through as an experience that allows them to start, manage, and run a real business. And we have tons of those amazing volunteers who came together to help give them, the opportunity to make business decisions, to collaborate with outside businesses and others. And that's something that, I wish I would have had back in high school. But I love being able to pass it on to our students here. Now in Delaware, I like to mention that we offer it in 3 models. So if there are some educators on here who don't currently participate, we partner with any high school educator. It is going to be infused in the new Delaware DOE Marketing Today pathway. And then any existing school store or school enterprise, we're always happy to help team up with you guys. I know a lot of our students on this call participated in one of those fashions. We also work with educators after school. And then lastly, we offer a host site or internship type experience where students may meet up at a business. We have some of those students on here as well. In particular, Corporation Service Company, as well as Microsoft, were two of our host sites this year that lent a hand in giving those students this experience. Now, before we move on, these are our 2019-2020 JA company competitors that participated in our Barracuda Bowl. And I want to first and foremost just let you guys know how proud I am of these students. Just to give you guys some real quick numbers on these students and their companies, because they weren't just ideas of what they wanted to do, they were real operations making real money. So the revenues for all 10 of these JA companies together, not including the school store models, which there are 3 of them listed, was $10,074.52, apologies. Including these school stores, we brought in a total revenue, the students did, of $30,940.51. Now for the profits, because that's ultimately what keeps the business alive. Without school stores, students cleared $2,409. And with our school stores, all of our student companies listed here brought in a total profit of $9,128.88. So I want to first just go ahead and give you guys the recognition that you guys deserve. That's amazing. We've never had numbers like that here in JA of Delaware, and you guys should be really, really proud of yourselves of being able to drive in that much business, to make your customers really happy, to help bring them back month over month. And I just want to make sure we took some time to give you guys the praise that you deserve for that. Now, of course, we must move on to the competition awards. That's why we're all here ultimately. And I want to first take a couple moments to do some JA volunteer and teacher awards and appreciation. There are some awards and things that have not yet arrived, which I will be shipping out to those individuals once I receive them. But for some of them, I have photos, others I've not yet got those. Of course, coronavirus impacts all businesses around the world, but I'm gonna make sure we do our part to say thank you and appreciate you guys. Then we'll go right into those awards that we have listed one by one, and we'll finish off with our Company of the Year. So first and foremost, I mentioned this a little bit before, we had 2 volunteer companies that really stepped up. They provided all the volunteers, they provided space in their business. CSC, Microsoft, thank you guys so much. We had students that met at those businesses from October all the way through March. And it was an incredible experience that I think, those associates and the students hopefully walked away with a great appreciation. Then we had Marlette Funding and Bank of America, who really stepped up to the plate and provided our in-school company programs with a tremendous amount of volunteer support. And I really appreciate you guys for doing that. And then we had Dover Federal Credit Union, who provides support both in the classroom, but also at some of our pitch events. So I was really excited to have their support this year as well. Now, I couldn't list all of the volunteers on this page, but we had numerous individuals who contributed from other companies not listed here that I want to make sure I give appreciation and thanks to also. Now, at this time, I do want to provide a few, I should say, Exceptional Volunteer Service Awards. First and foremost, Raquel Morrison and Derek Dixa from Bank of America. You guys were phenomenal. Just in your first year, they coordinated over 43 hours of volunteer coaching at Concord High School, 13 and a half and 12 hours respectively between the 2 of them. And then they also attended our Newcastle County Piranha Pond pitch event and supported the students pitching there. They also recruited 7 of their colleagues listed below, who also provided support at Concord High School to eventually 2 of our JA companies. So thank you both. Our second Exceptional Volunteer Service Award goes to Vanessa McClafferty, Liz Esposito, and Chris Maloney from CSC. This is with the support of John Oliver, our CSC board member. And in 2 years of commitment and host site sponsorship, they participated in almost every one of our 30 meetings from October of 2018 until March of 2020, which was over 60 hours of volunteer support. Vanessa this year took on the role of CSC host site coordinator and coordinated with her colleagues, as well as the CSC headquarters staff, and made sure the students had an opportunity to sell their product on President's Day at CSC, where the students not only sold their product to their associates, but also made a pitch to Rod Ward himself and were able to successfully sell to him. Quite a phenomenal experience for those students. They also attended our pitch events last year and this year, supporting their student companies. And they shared and trained some of their associates on best practices working with youth. So I must tip my cap and really thank Vanessa, Liz, Chris, and then the whole team listed there below. So thank you guys so much. And my third Exceptional Volunteer Service Award must go to Kim McCafferty from Marlette Funding. Of course, with support of Jason Swift of Marlette Funding, their 2 years of commitment and event sponsorship has meant so much. They've recruited and secured over 15 colleagues this year to help participate in our events, our in-classroom and host site volunteer company program experiences. Plus, they organized volunteer judges for this year's pitch event, last year's pitch event here in Newcastle County, as well as for this year's Barracuda Bowl and last year's Barracuda Bowl. They also sponsored that beautiful JA Company traveling trophy, which you saw at the beginning, and they hosted 3 JA interns this past summer for a 3-day experience at Marlette Funding, which was pretty awesome for those kids. I've kept up with those educators and those kids still remembered that experience, so thank you. Here is a list of all of the Marlette Funding volunteers to date that have lent a hand or, in some way, shape, or form been in support of JA Company program, and I wanted to make sure I gave you guys some time on the screen, so thank you. Now for this next award, which is pictured, I wanted to show the photo of it first, and then go ahead and show you some of the details of this wonderful educator who has teamed up and partnered with me for 5 years. So Shanna Doolin DeFrancesca, she has had 18 years as an educator. She's taught grades 9 through 12. She holds her master's in secondary education, and she's a proud supporter of DECA and junior achievement. And now I wanted to share some of her JA stats. So she has been a 5-year partner, and in the time that she has helped her students run companies, their revenues have exceeded $12,800. So I wanted to take this moment to say thank you to Shanna. You have been a phenomenal partner, and you have, definitely, helped give me the extra, boost to keep going forward with this, especially when we've had some difficult classes together of students. So I really appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as Junior Achievement of Delaware. So, and I have some other prizes and things that I'll be shipping off with that award as well.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you very much. I'm very touched.
Well, I'm so happy I got to surprise you like that. Now, of course, we must move on to the awards ceremony. And this is what all of our students worked so tirelessly on. You guys, I know, spent many hours, sometimes outside of school, outside of your regular meetings, whether it was at CSC or Microsoft. You guys texted one another, you jumped on unique platforms like Zoom and Microsoft Teams to try and work together, ultimately to hopefully take home some of these awards. So I definitely want to say congratulations to all of you. At the end of this presentation, as we finish up our awards, I do just want to let you all know that I'll be following up with an email to collect information in order to best get those awards to you all directly. So be on the lookout for that email. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into our first award, which, if you recall, was the JA Social Impact Award. And this award recognizes the best student company that provides a solution to a local, national, or global social issue. And this is an award that is also awarded at our National Student Leadership Summit, which JA USA puts on every year, which we'll find out more about tomorrow. So those of you who had that information, I'll make sure I'll keep you guys posted. But for this year's JA of Delaware Social Impact Award winner, it goes to Be Gradable, JA Company Program out of Microsoft. So congratulations, Liam and Eric. Well done. Yes, give them a round of applause if you will. I'm not going to force any of our student companies to be on the spot and give us any words, but you guys are going to receive a JA Delaware bag and then also a t-shirt. So I need to connect up on you guys in terms of what size you wear. And then on top of that, we want to promote your company on our JA of Delaware social media channels. So we're going to work with you guys on collecting a post so we can put that out there and share with all of our followers what you guys were able to achieve this year and how you made a difference on yourselves and the environment. Next up, we have the JA Innovation Award, and this recognizes the student company who had the most innovative product or service. And that award goes to Panga Tech, JA Company Program from CSC. Congratulations. Our judges really loved that you guys made that product up from scratch. You guys are also going to receive a JA of Delaware bag and a t-shirt, your choice. And then we are also going to feature your product and a short write-up on all of our social media channels as well. So congratulations to you all. I'll make sure I connect up on you with you guys on that to make sure we get a good post put together. And now for our JA President of the Year. This recognizes student company president who exhibited the best leadership while leading their JA company to success. And this leader I could say many, many things about, but I will keep our presentation rolling. Taylor Toman from CavsMart, Middletown High School, congratulations. And you may be wondering what you've won. Well, Taylor, you are luckily the recipient of a $1,000 scholarship award that we will put forth towards the college that you're going to. So we'll connect up with you on that and make sure that we assist you on getting those funds over there since you are a senior this year and you'll be hopefully going this coming fall. So I know we'll connect up with you on those details and make sure you get those funds.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And now for our JA Company School Store of the Year. This recognizes the student company store who operated to the highest possible business standards, operating a school store within the JA Company program model. And unlike our traveling trophy, this award is an award that we're going to give away every year, and it will hang or stay within the school store, and it will be a yearly award that we present. And the way I kind of was thinking about that was the Best of Delaware awards that they give out to restaurants and the like. It could be something that you guys can tout and brag about, and then hopefully come back year over year and try to win. So this year's winner, Wildcat Shack out of Delmar High School. Congratulations. Woo woo. Ms. Selby, I believe you're on here somewhere. I hope you are just as proud as I am of all of your students and the hard work they did on completely starting a brand new school store, operating it very successfully, so much to the point of making a profit. And probably the most proud thing that I heard about every company member mention was they were able to create pride about Delmar that wasn't a specific sport specific. So that it wasn't about football or it wasn't about softball, it was just about Delmar. And they were really, really proud about that. So hats off to you guys and gals.
Yeah, great. And Morgan's on. Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
Morgan's on as well.
And I do want to share with you what that award looks like. I took a photo of it earlier today. In my opinion, it looks pretty sharp, and I'm sure it will look nice once we get it hung up in your school store. So congratulations again, Wildcat Shack. And now for our final 3 awards, our JA Company of the Year. So top honors go out to all of our companies. And I want to make sure you guys understand all of you deserve so much this year for everything you've done. And I am so proud of you. So one thing I do want to say before I show these awards is seniors especially, if you will, get in the chat right now of this Zoom call and give me your email, personal email. Please do not give me a school email because that will no longer be live come September, October of next year. So please share with me your email so I can keep in touch with you. I want to make sure you are part of our alumni network so we can keep inviting you back to these competitions and things like that. Thank you. I see those starting to come in. If you're not a senior, I still want your email. So go ahead, students, drop those in there so that I can stay in touch with you. But without further ado, let me go ahead and we will begin with 3rd place for JA Company of the Year. 3rd place. I wish I had a drum roll. Raven Outfitters. They were from Sussex Tech High School, and this year they incorporated a square point of sale into their school store, which definitely boosted sales. They also came out with a new logo, and they, in my opinion, did just a tremendous job. I believe they had over $13,000 in revenue that they brought in with their school store. So great job, students, on tracking and keeping tabs on all of those funds. I know Square helped make it a little bit easier, but nonetheless, great job to you all. Now, 2nd place Company of the Year goes to 302 Jars of Joy. Congratulations. This was actually their 1st year participating in JA Company program. So I congratulate Wendy Rust and the Lake Forest team of 302 Jars of Joy. You guys did a phenomenal job putting things together and really, really taking the momentum of a good product and running with it. So I tip my hat off to you all. The judges were also thoroughly impressed. I will mention, and I should have mentioned their first scores when I was announcing them. Raven Outfitters' average score was a 3.75, while 302 Jars of Joy was a 3.8. And of course, now for 1st place, what you all have been waiting for. Thank you for your patience. We're only 4 minutes over, with a score of 4.6. So it was pretty clear and obvious. This company definitely showed off to the judges and pretty much showed that they were the best company of the year. So I would love to say Raiders Inc. Congratulations, you guys are our 2020 JA Company of the Year. So congratulations, woohoo! So you guys may be wondering, well, what prizes have we won? So our 1st place teams for those student company leaders, those will win a Amazon Echo or a Google Dot, whichever one you guys prefer. I'll collect that information and whenever I collect your awards, other information. 2nd place, you guys get $20 gift cards, your choice. I threw up some options, but ultimately, if it's an online e-gift card, I'm more than happy to get it for you, 20 bucks though. And then 3rd place, you guys get $10 gift cards, your choice. If, those are just a few options I shared with you, but of course, you guys may select whichever one you want. Now, I do want to also just mention that all of our JA Barracuda Bowl competitors will receive a JA bag, which is pretty sweet. And then I'm going to stuff it with a stuffed magazine, as well as we have some really cool packets from the SBA that I believe are actually really timely now that I was holding on to, hoping to give away to you guys in person. But since I wanted to make sure all of you guys receive something this year for all the hard work that you guys did, and hopefully will continue to inspire and give you guys additional, ideas for what's next, I definitely want to make sure I get these things out to all of you. So before you all leave, I would love it, before you sign off of here, if you will, click on this feedback survey link. It's probably 9 questions, I believe. The first 2 are for only competitors or judges. So it's really 7 questions. It'll take you less than a minute. And then I just want to say thank you. You guys have done a tremendous job this year, all around, all of my stakeholders who, have been there for me, who jumped on this Zoom call, who said, Ryan, let's go forward with this competition. The kids still want to, win some awards, and they still want to show off what they did all year. And I said, just because coronavirus is happening, I wanted to make sure that these students could share what happened for 5 months before COVID happened, because as you saw today, they were all very, very, in my opinion, they were students who should all receive something in terms of the great effort and success that they had as a JA company. So I just want to commend you guys again on all of that. I want to thank everyone for coming today. I, of course, have been recording this, so I will send out a link of that once I make it available to you all. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and feel free to hang out with me if you want. I'll hang on here for a little while longer, but thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
And JA, everybody at JA.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan,
Bye,
great
Ryan.
job putting this together. Thank you so much. And, the last 5 years has been a pleasure. I know I can always count on you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Likewise, you've always been there to say, let's work with another group, even if the one before that wasn't that much of a treat.
Yeah, it's been great. So I'm looking forward to next year.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And hopefully we'll have even some more opportunities. And we have, I haven't even shared with you, but we have new models that are coming out that some are more teacher focused and others more volunteer focused. So lots more training, lots more coming your way. So I'll be in touch.
Thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Amazing job, Ryan.
You're very welcome, Miss Selby. Congrats.
I want to specifically thank you for making my first year a lot easier than I know it would have been if I didn't have you, so I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. And although it wasn't always super fun waking up at about 5 a.m. to make it to Del Mar by 7:15 or 7:30, whatever time it was, I made it work, at least 7 or 8 times. And your kids were always great to work with. So I appreciated everything you did to help, be there for them and hold them up to that same standard. So thank you.
Well, you were always there when we needed you. So thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You're worth having around, Ryan.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was phenomenal work this year, Ryan. I mean, just everything I saw, not just from looking at the new models, the adoption, the flexibility, right? The expansion, the work at Piranha Pine.